undocumented baby, would that baby then be an enforcement priority?
The violent criminals in our country are the priority now. Let me put it in perspective. Today marked the 2,711th arrest in our country of TDA members, just TDA. Everyone in this room agrees they are one of the most violent criminal organizations in the world. And the Biden administration let them walk into our country for the last 4 years. 2,711 of them today have been arrested in our country. That is the priority of Donald Trump. That is the priority of this country, of Homeland Security, of all of our lawyers, of FBI. That's the priority. That will be discussed in October when the Supreme Court hopefully rules in our favor, and we're very confident of that. But you should all feel safer now that President Trump can deport all of these gangs, and not one district court judge can think they're an emperor over this administration and his executive powers and why the people of the United States elected him.
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey.
Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. When you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Yeah, buddy, it's going down. What's going on, family? I hope everybody is blessed, well, healthy, that you're having an amazing week, that you're getting ready for the 4th of July. Y'all don't blow it up now. Y'all don't got them insurance premiums that cover all the square footage. Don't go out there and blow it up. I warned you. I know some of y'all ready to blow it up, but somebody got to be walked out in handcuffs. This is good. All right, Pam. Some of them Patriots, some of them have, they trying to hold on. They trying to keep the faith. You know, some of them Patriots are feeling some kind of way. Wait a minute. They said maybe we should have kept Matt Gaetz. We would have been okay with the allegations. We would have been okay with the allegations. It's okay. You know.
And on immigration, on a side note, today marks 2,711 arrests on these terrorists and these gangs. Total arrest today with HSI investigations. And thank you, Stephen Miller. Thank you to Homeland Security. Thank you to everyone working hand in hand with the FBI on all of these transnational gangs. TDA has been a huge terror to our country, as well as MS-13, as well as Sinaloa cartels. No longer.
As we're doing more of a little deep dive today on the show with Pam Bondi, there's something we really got to talk about, Sean. I know y'all been hitting me up and spamming me and emailing me and sending me all kind of things I've been checking out with this app, this ICE block. I mean, this is crazy. But Pam Bondi says that the DOJ is investigating Joshua Aaron, the creator of the new app called ICE Block, that warns illegal immigrants if ICE is near them. So we got the full thing we're gonna pull up, but I tell you, man, this thing gets spicier and spicier every single day, y'all. You know, every single day. Here's the full thing right here. Let's check this out.
Huge Supreme Court ruling on Friday. The DOJ now continues to implement President Trump's immigration agenda. Earlier today, the department filed a lawsuit against sanctuary city policies in Los Angeles following the recent lawlessness and the riots that have plagued that city. And last week, the DOJ filed a complaint against Minnesota, challenging laws providing in-state tuition benefits to illegal immigrants. Still, Democrats are going way out of their way to resist everything that President Trump does. One software developer has now created an app to warn people when ICE agents are nearby. And this morning, fake news CNN appeared to promote the app. Yeah. How nice of them.
CNN to promote the app. I know y'all like, we not surprised. We not surprised. They ought to shut CNN down, man. Treason. I'm telling you, they ought to shut it down. It ought to be a full-blown investigation. I think everybody ought to be walked out in handcuffs. They ought to make the building, the headquarters building, they ought to turn it into like a, something for the people, a non-profit or something. They ought to just shut the whole thing down, in my opinion. The whole CNN headquarters, MSNBC, ABC, all of them. All of them. Make them donation centers or something. I'm just saying, they ought to make them donation centers or something. I'm just, the enemy of the people. They on CNN promoting. I'm not surprised.
Take a look.
I talked with Joshua Aaron, who is the longtime tech worker who developed this platform, and he said he really wants it to be an early warning system for people about the location of immigrations and customs enforcement officers. So he says he does not want people interfering with those officers' activity, but he does want people to be able to avoid them altogether. You open the app, it looks like a map, and users can tap the map to report an ICE sighting in their area, and then everybody who uses the platform within 5 miles of that sighting will get a push alert. This is a free iPhone app. It is anonymous. Aaron says he doesn't collect any user data.
And meanwhile, President Trump is set to visit the grand opening of what is now being dubbed Alligator Alcatraz, detention center in the Everglades for illegal immigrants. And the Attorney General, Pam Bondi, is with us with more. Madam Attorney General, great to have you, as always. Let's start with these lawsuits, the one against Los Angeles and
Pam. You smile, man, we're going to let you make it, but them Patriots say that you smiling too much lately. They say you've been smiling too much. We got to get you a little frown, a little, maybe a little testosterone in your coffee or something, ma'am. Let them put them Patriots over there on the DOJ, FBI. Man, it'd have been people being walked out in handcuffs. Yeah, Democrats in handcuffs. I'm telling you. We knocking down your door. We coming on in. Yeah. Pardons, null and void. The files, the Epstein, the truckload that showed up. We giving you time. Them Patriots say, you come on here smiling too much, Pam. Wait a second. Don't come on here smiling too much. Yeah. I'm just saying what they say, y'all, that this be in my comment section today. I read the comment section, family. I got to hear what my family talking about on here. And if you're not a part of the family, hit that subscribe button. Join the family. Yay. They say, Pam, come on here smiling too much. And we need more action. We do some good talking, but we need more action. Yeah, they put Rick ahead of this. Oh, I'm telling you, they got Rick ahead of the DO. Yeah, FB. Yeah, Rick would have had, they would have said, Rick, sir, we have run out of handcuffs. Can we restock on hand? This week we have used all the handcuffs. We have used all the handcuffs, Mr. Rick, sir. Yeah, I'm walking everybody's ass out.
In Minnesota.
Yeah, it was Sean, where, in Los Angeles, what LA was doing, and we also sued Karen Bass, the mayor, directly. What they were doing is they were prioritizing illegal aliens over American citizens, and you cannot do that.
Yeah, California, a complete dumpster fire. Don't worry, they're running everybody out of these places. They're running everybody out of New York City, everywhere. Yeah, Karen Bass, Gavin Newsom, they ought to walk in handcuffs. I'm serious, man. These people here, grossly incompetent.
These sanctuary policies are the root of the cause of violent crime in our country, in LA. We saw it with the riots. We had to send out DEA, FBI, ATF, our U.S. Marshals, jeopardize their safety to help enforce the laws of Los Angeles. We are not going to protect illegal aliens over Americans. No longer. It's stopped. We have sued New York, Illinois, Colorado, New Jersey, and now we've sued Los Angeles, and we will continue to sue you if you do not follow the laws of our country.
Well, Mamdani, I noticed, made that pledge about not helping or following the law. We do have the supremacy clause in the Constitution. Right. They do have jurisdiction, is my understanding. But isn't that the same for every sanctuary city or state?
Yeah, and what Mudabi is saying in New York is utterly ridiculous. It's making mainstream anti-Semitism, Sean. This guy is out of control. What he's been doing, what he's been saying. He wanted to defund, do away with NYPD. It's so frightening. And the things about anti-Semitism should scare us all, given what happened with the Holocaust Museum, given what happened in Boulder, Colorado, and we just lost that victim, as you know, the 82-year-old victim who was firebombed. Given what happened in the UK with that concert saying all these anti-Semitic things, someone like that is very dangerous, not only for New York, but for our entire country. So we're going to keep fighting for the citizens of these cities. If these mayors and these candidates for mayors won't do it, Donald Trump will. Including Tim Walz, Governor Tim Walz.
Tampon Timmy, stolen valor Tim.
Let's talk about
Tampon Timmy.
The administration racked up a series of very powerful decisions last week, including the nationwide injunction. Let's go through the importance of those decisions and how it impacts the administration.
Well, it impacts everything President Trump has done, his agenda, everything he's trying to enact under his powers of the executive branch. It blocked our tariffs. It affected our military readiness. It affected immigration. It affected our foreign affairs. It affected us eliminating fraud throughout the government. No longer. They were allowing district court judges to serve as emperors, basically, for the entire country. We've had 285 lawsuits against us. Of the 40 injunctions that have been issued against President Trump's administration, 35 of them were in 5 districts: Maryland, D.C., Massachusetts, Colorado, and Washington State. Not shocking to you, I'm sure, Sean, but no longer. It violated the separation of powers on which our nation's government was founded, and they cannot seize power from the executive branch any longer. President Trump now can enact his agenda. It was a huge win. We've had so many big wins recently for President Trump because the American people elected him by an overwhelming majority and the Electoral College. And that's so important because his message when he ran was crystal clear. And that's what he's able to enact now based on this great ruling with a 6-3 opinion authored by Justice Barrett at the Supreme Court. We also won transgender books, that parents have the right to choose whether their children have to read transgender books. I've seen some of these things. They are disgusting. No one would want to read these, especially a child in school. And now the Supreme Court confirmed that parents do have rights. That also came out last Friday. And as I mentioned before, we also sued last week Governor Walz in Minnesota for tuition for illegal aliens. You can't do that. Once again, these governors, these states are prioritizing illegal aliens over our students. They're treating our students like second.
Like I said, I wish they cared this much about actual Americans. You know? Then just maybe it wouldn't be so on this and that. Maybe it just wouldn't be like, I'm just saying. You know? Maybe if you just cared a little bit more about actual Americans. But no. Yeah. No.
Class citizens, and the Trump administration is not going to put up with it. It ends, and it ends now.
You know, we've had Tom Homan on many times on the program, and he's talked about a dramatic increase in violence against ICE agents,
Yes.
over 450%. I mean, really scary numbers. If you have or put out an application or a warning system that ICE agents are in the area, are you guilty of obstruction? Are you guilty of aiding and abetting in that case? And by the way, if you're a sanctuary state, does that status aid and abet just the very status of it?
Yeah, and that's what he's doing. And people, obviously, our ICE agents, all of our federal agents who are working hand in hand on these task force, our federal agents from the Justice Department could be injured. He's giving a message to criminals where our federal officers are, and he cannot do that. And we are looking at it. We are looking at him, and he better watch out, because that's not a protected speech. That is threatening the lives of our law enforcement officers throughout this country. And shame on CNN. I just saw that for the first time when you showed it, that they're promoting that app. That's shame on them for doing that.
All right, Pam. All right. Now, Pam, this all we got to go do. This all we got to go do. Shut the whole app down and walk the developer out in handcuffs live on television, so I can come on here and celebrate with them Patriots. That's all. We just got to make an example. Yeah, he helping out the criminals. I'm telling you, I didn't even know they could do that. Man, I'm telling you, but you know what? In this world that we live in, you can create anything, and I mean anything. You know, they got the oven that can do this, and that. You got a 10-in-1 now. Yeah. The oven can fry, the oven can bake, the oven can boil, the oven can flip it upside down, and it just, man, it can do everything. The oven can clean itself, and then it can make itself back dirty and then clean it again. It's just good. This is good. Yeah, I'm telling you. You can do anything now. They can tell you when the ICE agents are nearby. Golly. Yeah, I just got this notification. I'm out of here. Yeah, they down the street. We got to get up out of here. I tell you, man. So we just need to make an example, Pam. I know you sound real good right now, Pam. You sound real, but no, we need to just walk somebody out. Yeah. I need to see the breaking news footage. Yeah, handcuffs. That's all.
Our law enforcement officers who are out there protecting them, protecting all of us every single day.
The only reason that we even drew any attention to it was because you were on the program. And I wanted to make sure that you did see it, because nobody watches CNN, to be very honest. And it's important that, but these things do get out there in the ether, and people do know about them. And people, there's a lot of chatter and social media. And I want people to know that if they're involved in this, they are putting ICE officers' lives in jeopardy. Or if they dox the homes of ICE officers, that scares me too. What happens to them?
That's right. You cannot dox you. We're finding you. People don't think that we can find you. We are finding you. We've made that abundantly evident by the cases that we're making. No longer will crime be rampant in our country, and we will protect the great men and women in law enforcement. I feel like, Sean, what has happened to this country where our police officers are out there every day? There's no ordinary day in the life of a police officer. They're out there protecting all of us every day. They're protecting CNN. They're protecting everyone. Yet these people are so against law enforcement officers, whether you're a candidate for mayor in New York City,
defund the police, kind of incompetent.
Promoting an app. You're warning people about that app and not to use it. And thank you for that.
Defund, dismantle, no bail, let the criminals go free.
Let the criminals go back and commit another crime. I tell you, it's just, man, a disgrace, man. But I'm glad we are so back. And Pam, we need to put some testosterone in your coffee or something. Yeah. But they said be patient. But we do see a lot of others being arrested. But there's another list of people that ought to be walked out in handcuffs, and politicians, filthy people that ought to be walked out in handcuffs. And I want all the files released, everything. But let me know what y'all think of this. I love y'all. God bless you all and your family. And I will catch y'all in the next one. And what do y'all think of Pam Bondi? Let me know in the comment section down below.